Hey, I'm Eric Keach, and I am here with Bridget and Tony Walker, and they are amazing clients at Body by Brady, and they're here to talk about their story. They're here to talk about their journey, to talk about the results and the experience, and all the other things that kind of fall in between with this. So, guys, thank you so much for coming in and taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
All right, so let's do this, Bridget. Let's kind of step back and just share with me what it was like the big issue or struggle that you guys were looking for to overcome that kind of led you to join in here.
Well, for me, it was the fact that I started to feel like the apple in the Fruit of the Loom commercial.
Mm,
I just felt like one big ball, and I also have an autoimmune disease, so I was having a lot of headaches, joint pain, inflammation, and I was feeling like crap every day. So it was time to do something.
okay. I'm gonna have you guys just slide a little bit, if you can, just a little bit closer. There we go. I know it's tough. Yeah. Okay. And so you were feeling like this, Tony. Were you feeling the same way, or were you kind of guys joined together? How did you end up there as a couple?
Well, no, we used to use a different trainer. That's
Hmm.
actually how we met Matt, uh, and it was working well for us for a while. And then I took a new job that required me to travel a lot more and not work out of the house, so I became a lot less flexible.
Hmm.
And Bridget started law school, so she became a lot less flexible. At the same time, the other trainer closed his practice. So for about a year plus, we were trying to do it on our own with no accountability, no real plan. And before you know it, we were back where we were before we started with the other trainer. So it was actually funny. Bridget had said, "Hey, I reached out to Matt Brady." And I said, "Oh, that's funny. I was planning on doing the same thing because we knew we needed to do a change and get that accountability and get back on track."
Hmm. And so you guys know you had to like just start feeling better, right? Kind
Yeah,
of just
yeah,
take care of yourself and make sure you have that accountability to kind of make sure you're doing the right things.
yeah.
Right.
Get back to where we were.
Right. I have no motivation to do it on my own.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I really need someone pushing me.
Okay. And so when you guys first walked in, so obviously it sounds like you knew Matt somehow a little bit beforehand. Is
Hmm.
that correct? Okay. So it wasn't something that you didn't know what to expect coming. I mean, I'm sure you may be a little bit nervous. Were you kind of
Well,
like hesitant, like we don't know, we're still kind of unsure about what's going to happen?
yeah, I mean, we knew Matt just in passing.
Hmm.
Every once in a while, when our trainer couldn't meet with us, he'd have Matt fill in. So I think maybe we worked out with him once or twice before.
Hmm.
So we knew, just doing our initial research on his website and whatnot, that he was trying a different approach. But walking in, I don't think either one of us had an idea of what he was truly doing here.
Okay. All right.
We
And
kind of
so,
expected it to be like what we were doing before.
okay. And so, Bridget, when you walk in, did Matt do a good job of kind of alleviating any of those fears, making you feel comfortable about what was going to take place?
Yes and no. Just because I hate exercise.
Mm,
I've never been physically fit in my entire life. And it's a struggle for me. So the first day I came into exercise, I still had anxiety and fear of, not making it through the
mhm,
first round or quitting or all that stuff.
mhm. But you're still there now. So they've obviously done something to kind of obviously the results, which we'll talk about in a minute. But there's an element too, I'm guessing, where right there is a connection there. There is something a little bit more than just the results that's made you kind of stick around.
Yeah, it's not even the results that, for me, that make me stick around. It's the community that's here. I mean,
Hmm.
that first day that I walked in, the group of women that I was exercising with was just so supportive. And I just felt like it didn't matter how bad I was at it, or if I did have a meltdown, I'd have the support to back me up. I really like the community that Matt's built here.
Okay. And Tony, how would you explain the atmosphere and being a part of it?
I would agree with Bridget. If I compare what we used to do to what we do now, it used to be semi-private, where it's just Bridget and I, and we would push each other as a married couple would.
Hmm.
We're very competitive, type A people. This is a different environment. You know, there are. I've worked out with people that are at all levels of the spectrum, and I'm on the lower level of that. Fitness nut spectrum. And there are people that they just don't care because it's the approach that we're using it at Body by Brady is one that it's a timed exercise. It's a timed activity. So someone like myself can do half a dozen push-ups or no burpees because I just don't like them, versus somebody who really loves them and knocks out 20 of them in the same time frame. And it's not it's not a scorekeeping. It's scorekeeping against yourself, and everybody's very positive and very encouraging, which is different.
Like
You
a
know,
like a family in a way.
yeah. I mean, you rib each other a little bit. I know you could do better than that, or
Right.
if somebody you can tell. We do these monthly PT tests, and Bridget and I did ours yesterday. And there was somebody who did it with us who you could tell she was a little down because she didn't beat her previous number. It's like, well, you give them encouragement, you'll do better next time. And, then you get into a discussion of why
Mm.
versus, other places we've been that it's just you're on your own. You may have your personal session or whatever, but there's no accountability. There's no kind of,
Okay.
I wouldn't call it a safety net, but it feels like that.
Okay.
There's always somebody there to pick you up if you can't pick yourself up.
So there's a depth to this that there wasn't in other places.
Yeah.
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 Okay. And I guess Bridget, you were talking about like you hate exercise, and let's say you come in, there's things that you weren't able to do. It sounds like they've been able to modify things too. So like it's not just everybody's doing the exact same thing all the time. They'll modify it. Let's say if someone's got a wrist problem or isn't able to do something, is that what you've experienced?
Yes. Yep. The majority of my exercises are some modified version.
Okay.
But I'm getting to the point where they'll be regular soon, I hope.
Okay.
But they're willing to work with everyone. So
How long have you guys been there at the time of recording?
2 months.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the fun stuff, right? In these 2 months, what have you seen change wise? What have you seen results? Tony, you can start with this.
Well, I lost weight, feel better about myself. I've got more activity or more energy for more activity.
Mm-hmm.
I lead a pretty busy lifestyle. I travel pretty extensively for work. So, it's not as much of an issue running across the airport as it used to be. In addition to that, it's so there's the physical aspects, but then there's also the mental aspects. You know, Paying attention closer to what you eat, when you eat, what you drink, when you drink. Uh, in my sales role, there's a lot of entertaining, a lot of client entertaining, and I've consciously made better choices around what and when,
Mm-hmm.
because I know, gee, next week I've got to weigh in, or when I get back there, it's going to be 10 times harder to do what I was doing last week because I didn't do it this week, or so it's that accountability. It forces you to think differently. And as we all know, it's 80% mental,
Right.
20% physical. So
Right. And you talk about the weigh-ins in your case. Have they done anything or tracked inches lost, anything along those lines?
body fat, inches lost,
Okay.
actual weight, and
Right.
it's inches lost across your body, so it's not just one area.
Okay. And what have
Uh,
you seen since then, like lost?
in my case, it's down across the board.
Okay.
So
Specifically, I'm just curious about the numbers because that's the thing people always
uh,
end up asking me about.
I don't have them in front of me, so I don't know.
Okay.
I know on my first weigh-in, I was down 7 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know about the rest of them because they're not. I don't have them. That's could have
Okay.
been a trip somewhere.
Okay.
But I know that that's one that I was clinging to. I was down 7 pounds in the first
Mm-hmm.
month.
Okay. All right. And so what have you seen, Bridget?
Well, I actually saw excellent results the first month. I lost 20 pounds and 8.5 inches,
Wow.
which was amazing to me. I still don't believe it. My second weigh in, the numbers were not as good. It's hard to compare to 20 pounds. So, but I tried not to get discouraged because it's really not about those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's about how I feel. I feel I have more energy. I don't have the headaches. I was having terrible brain fog, and being in law school, that was really difficult to deal with. And I have a mental clarity that I haven't had in years.
Wow. And you talked about you had like there's an autoimmune issue. Have you noticed any benefits along those lines where it's not affecting you as much?
Yes, my joint pain is almost gone.
Okay.
It's changed for muscle pain, but that's a good pain to have. So,
Right, right.
but the joint pain, I'm walking better. I am able to go up and down the stairs with less struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I have a breathing issue, that was really a struggle for me the first few exercises, but now I don't even notice it. So it's definitely getting stronger.
And Tony, you had mentioned, right, you noticed like there was emotional side, like there's accountability things that you're aware of now. Have you noticed things along that side of things as well, Bridget, where emotionally maybe there's things that it's easier to handle a couple things, like, or if let's say you have a really stressful day or something, have you found that it's been a little bit easier to manage some of the stress?
I definitely can manage the stress better. I've had fellow classmates in my law class that have said, "I can't believe the change in you. You're so relaxed and you're not anxious over things."
Okay.
And
All right. And how do these changes, in just a short period of time, how do these changes make you guys feel like overall? Tony, you can take that.
I feel much better than I did, January 1st. If you look at the milestones throughout the year, we just crossed St. Patty's Day, and I feel a lot better than I did at the beginning of the year. And my expectation is, I'll feel even better by Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's really the goal setting that I've set for myself. One of the things that Matt has us do is 90-day goals. What do you want your weight to be, and what do you want this to be, and what do you want that to be? And those are important as well. Don't get me wrong, but for me, it's more of that mental challenge. I want to feel better. I'm not doing this to get to a specific weight. I want to get back to where I was in high school or whatever.
Right.
That's not why I'm doing this. It's more of that overall feeling. It's feeling better, looking better, having more confidence. That's why I'm doing it. And so it's setting goals around that for me.
Would you guys go as far as to say that this has, up to this point, been life changing?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, having had an experience with a personal trainer before, um, it's definitely a much better experience for me this
Okay.
time.
I would agree with that.
Okay. And now I just want to shift gears. The last few questions. I want to talk about the trainers. Like we don't have to mention them specifically, but just in general, I guess, in top of your mind, because you've had experience with other people. Maybe Tony, a few words or phrases that describe the type of people that they are. Not so much, I guess, trainers, right? They can train, but like the type of people that they are.
So I've been fortunate to work with only two of the trainers based on my schedule. I'm only able to come at night and on the weekends. Uh, I would say first and foremost, they're encouraging
Mm-hmm.
and they're here for your success. Everybody's got their personal style. There's one who's she picked up on my personality and just hits back. I can sometimes maybe be a little sarcastic coming from New England. And if I don't like an exercise, I may make a sly comment here or there, and she is right on it. She just right on it. Whereas the other trainer that I worked out with, um, we don't have that same relationship because she doesn't have that same personality. So it's much more of a nurturing environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's I may dread doing battle ropes or something, and you can do it, and this is how you can do it differently today to maybe make it more fun
Okay.
versus the other personality. I think they're very different, and you get a very different experience, but they're both tremendous. I mean, Matt is really lucky having found those ladies.
Okay. And then Bridget, it sounds like Tony's saying this too, but would you say that they're, in your case, because right, you hate working out, so there has to be, right, an accountability, a connection with you to continue going along with results. So it sounds like that they actually truly care about you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would definitely say that the trainers also add to the environment here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a caring, nurturing, supportive environment, and it's almost like they can read what you need at that point in time. So it's not like they're just standing there and running the timer and saying, "Yeah, go go," but they're
Mm-hmm.
really taking an interest in you specifically.
Okay. And then last two questions I have for you. Let's say it's a couple, married couple, just like yourselves, going through a very similar situation to where you were before you were signed up and were training here, and they're thinking about joining. They hear your story, but they're on the fence. They're not sure if it's right for them. What would you want to say to maybe push them over the fence and let them know, maybe this might be the place for you? Tony, you can take that.
Well, I think it comes down to what their goals are. If they're just looking for hard numbers,
Mm-hmm.
probably isn't the right place because you get so much more than that. And the value that I think Bridget and I perceived is the more. right? You can go anywhere and somebody will work you out, and there'll be a taskmaster, and you'll get those numbers. You may not enjoy them. Where I really think Matt and the team here are trying to make this an enjoyable environment. I know when I travel and I don't get here for a week, I actually miss it. And for somebody like myself, who would much rather be on the couch with a pint of Ben and Jerry's, saying I miss going to the gym because I miss the interaction. I don't miss waking up sore, but on the other hand, I know why I'm doing it. So it's almost a labor of love. When you create that type of environment, style doesn't matter. Ability doesn't matter. You'll get better. With each week, you'll get better. It's that type of an environment that's really drawn me in, quite frankly.
And so basically somebody else, they basically would just, I'm guessing you would say they would just have to try it to find out for themselves.
Yeah. If you've worked out in the past and you were a solitary person, and you go in, you put your headphones in, you do your reps and you leave.
Yeah.
This isn't the environment for you. We talk, we laugh, we banter all through the workout. We criticize each other's music tastes. It's very much a community. I hate to use that overused term, and you work out with different people. I typically come at the 6:45 session, and there are times I'm alone, and it's a one-on-one, which is great. And then there are times where there's 4 other people, and you get to meet different people and
Right.
Different styles and whatnot, but you're all there together for the same thing.
Okay. All right. And then the last question I have for you, Bridget, is let's say right now Matt is deciding he's going to close the place down. Like right now, as we're talking, and he turns off his phone, his email. You guys are never able to talk to him ever again. And this is the last time you could ever say anything to him. So knowing it's the last time, what would you want to say?
I would just want to say thank you to Matt and the trainers and everyone here at Body by Brady, because it really has become like a family, and I would really miss working out, which is a big deal for me, and seeing everyone and even just connecting on Facebook. I mean, having that Facebook support is also essential to what I feel is my success here. So thank you. And that I'm grateful for what he's done here.
Okay. Tony, anything you'd want to add to that?
No, the two things, thank you and grateful, and really the only thing I could add is go Patriots.
The New England in you. All right. Well, guys, I think it's been really amazing just a short period of time to see the results, to see what you've gone through and the experience. And I really do appreciate you taking the time to come out and do this. And I want to wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
All right.
it.
Take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.